Hey everybody, welcome to Skeeter's Ridge. Today we are going to be starting some seeds. I have some seed starter mix and I have a 72 cell starter tray. It's got the individual cells. It has a greenhouse lid and a watering tray, and so I'll show you how to do all that as we go along. I'm using this seed starting mix. When you're starting seeds, it's important that you have a seed starting mix. You don't want a potting soil mix. You don't want a raised bed garden mix. This has exactly what your seeds need to get started. Seed starting mix. I'm trying this brand. I haven't tried this brand before. I'm not really particular to any one brand, and so I can use whatever I want to because nobody's paying me to do it anyway. So we're gonna try this one. I got this just at the big box store. I got these also at the big box store. This is a 12 quart, and I want to say it was like $5. And then the seed starting cell, the 72, I think was about $5 also. So it is the last week of February. It's 70 degrees today. I can't believe it. We do have a cold front coming in. It's supposed to drop down into like the 20s and 30s. So I'm not gonna, I'll leave them in the greenhouse for the first few days, but when that cold front comes through, I will bring them in the house just because I get nervous and I don't want them to die before they get started. I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be doing tomatoes and peppers because they take the longest to get started. They take the longest to maturity usually, so I want to get them started early. I'm not particular to any one brand of seeds. I have seeds from a lot of different places. It's just what I can find and what I'm looking to start growing. So let's get started. I'm so excited to start growing some stuff. I can't even tell you. Okay, so what we're going to do first, this has to be this needs to be wet. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this bag open. Every girl needs a good pocket knife, by the way. So go get you one if you don't have one. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to dump this into a separate container over here, and you don't want the dirt to be wringing wet. You want it to just be damp, and that's all you want. You just want it to be damp. Alright, so we'll add just a little bit of water at a time because you can always add more. Alright, so added some water, and this is not any special water. This is from the well. We are on well water. So I just go to the hose and turn it on and fill it up. So this is starting to get damp, and you'll know that that it's the right consistency. This is not the right consistency just yet. The tray's not big enough. A little bit more water. You can wear gloves if you want to, if you don't want to get your hands dirty, but it is gardening. You are playing in the dirt, so your hands are going to get dirty. And I don't mind my hands getting dirty. Alright, so this is starting to come together a lot better now. If you have a 5-gallon bucket, you can also do that. Use that to mix your seed starting soil and water. All right, so this is a really good consistency. Somebody once said you want it to be the consistency of brownie batter, but I don't think that's right. We'll cut that part out of the video. Okay. So there are a couple of sticks in there. We're going to throw that out. So this is what you want. You don't want to be able Oopsie. All right, so see how it's sticking together? That's what you want. You want it to be just enough that it sticks together. Because I'm not going to do it today because this is already damp. It's already good and wet. So what we're going to do is we are going to fill up all of these cells with our seed starting mix that we have just dampened. We're just going to take this and just run it over the top until you have filled up all the cells. And you want to make sure that you push most of that. You don't want to pack it, but you don't want it to be, you don't want big pockets of air. So once you think you have them all filled, just gently press down on the dirt, and if it goes down any, like so, See how it's still sinking in? That means that there's air pockets. So you just want to keep filling those until you can't press the air pockets out anymore. So I'm going to finish doing this. Okay, so I've got all of the cells filled, and I've gotten all the air pockets out, but it's not like packed in like cement, and that's exactly the way you want it. So now the fun part, we get to start our seeds. So with my seeds, I have some tags, and this I'm just going to write what I'm planting and put it in. That way I can keep up with it, and I'm not surprised when a bell pepper comes out looking like a Tabasco. Another thing is I have a log book, and I found this one on Amazon. It was like, I don't know, $5 or $6. And I always like to keep one of these to keep track of the seeds and when I planted and all that good stuff. And so in this one, it just you can like write down the date that you planted or that you started the seed, when you transplanted it outside, any fertilizers or nutrients that you add to the soil. You want to make sure that you date that so that you don't overdo it on your plants and you end up killing them. So yeah. So I've already written down all my tomatoes and peppers that I'm going to be planting. So I'm going to go back and I'll write in the dates that I planted all of them. So anyway, I'm kind of a nerd like that, so whatever. All right. So I think I want to start with the peppers. I'm really trying to step up my pepper game this season with some really hot varieties. So, Baker Creek has a lot of really hot peppers. So if you are looking for peppers to melt your face off, Baker Creek has a lot of really good ones. So I'm going to be using some of their seeds for some of the hotter peppers. So from them, I have Carolina Reapers. I have Death Spiral. I have the Apocalypse Scorpion. Let's see. Some good old jalapenos. What else? So that's all of the really hot ones from them. I also have some cayenne. I have two different kinds of pepperoncinis. Jeremy loves pepperoncinis. So I have an Italian and I have a Greek variety of both of the pepperoncinis. So anyway, again, I'm not promoting anybody. This is where I found these particular varieties of peppers that I wanted to try to grow. So that's where I got them from. Okay, so we will let's start with the Apocalypse Scorpion. On the back of your packets, no matter who you buy your packets from, there is some useful information for you. On the back of these, it has your sprouts, the number of days before it sprouts, temperature, seed depth. So seed depth is really important because if you plant your seeds too deep, they will never have enough energy to break through your soil, and they will just die. So you want to make sure that you plant to the depth that is recommended by wherever you get your seeds from, so that your seeds have a fighting chance. So for these, oh, they're so tiny. Okay. For these, it says a 1/4 of an inch deep. So what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can stand it in the, here. What I'm going to do is just take a stick here. Just take a little stick, and I'm just going to poke a hole about a 1/4 of an inch, deep. So I will do this whole row, 1/4 of an inch-ish. It can be a little more, a little less. You don't have to have your ruler out. Let's not get crazy. But you don't want to plunge your seed all the way to the bottom. You know what I mean? And you don't want to just set it right on top, because it's just not going to grow. It's not going to make it. And I don't know if anybody else out there is having trouble finding seeds right now, but you want to make every seed count. So with that being said, you want to make sure that you're close to what they say. All right, so I'm just going to take one little seed here, and I'm just going to drop one seed down into the hole, and that's it. Drop them in. Drop them in. If you have tweezers or something, you can use tweezers. Just be careful that you don't damage the seed. And like when you're sinking it down in the hole, make sure that you're not being too rough with it. Because if you damage the seed, you may lose it before it gets started. Okay, so that's all there is to it. You're just going to cover them up. Just cover them up. You don't, like, again, you don't want to pack it in like cement. You just want to cover it. Don't make this more difficult than what it has to be. This is really the easiest part. It's not rocket science to start seeds. Just make sure that you have a good seed starting soil, and it doesn't have to be the most expensive thing out there. It's whatever you can afford. There are brands out there that are way more expensive than this one, but this is what I can afford, so this is what I'm using. So it is what it is. And please don't forget to mark your seeds. I'm going to mark these as the Apocalypse Scorpion. So this whole row, I know is dedicated to apocalypse scorpions. So I know that that's what's in this row. And so as I keep planting, I'm going to just keep marking as I go, labeling as I go, instead of trying to remember when I get to the end, oh no, what was this one? Because again, I don't want tomatoes or something come out looking like Tabasco peppers, because clearly that's a big difference. So anyway, I'm going to finish this up. I hope that you are as excited as I am about finally getting to start some seeds and finally getting to grow something. If you will just comment below some of your favorite tomato varieties that you like, some of your favorite pepper varieties that you like. I would love to hear from you. Okay, so as you can see, I've got everything planted, all the seeds are planted, and everything's labeled. Guess what? So, funny thing, the dome is not going to fit with the labels. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to put the dome on, and then I'm just going to tape to the outside all of my labels. So what I'm doing right now is I am removing the labels and placing it right next to the row that those seeds are planted in. Yeah, easy mistake, right? It can happen, no big deal. So what we're going to do is just take all these out. So this last row right here, I didn't have enough viable seeds to do a whole row of anything. So I just did the first 3 of one variety and then the second 3 of another variety. So I'm going to put this label here so that I know that that is where that one goes. So the instructions that come with your cell kit, so this says once the seeds are planted according to your seed package, place the dome, cover with the dome, and place in a warm location away from direct sunlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these, so our dome is on. All right, so you're going to leave the dome on. Don't take it off. You're going to leave the dome on until you start seeing sprouts coming up out of the dirt. And on the back of most of your packages, no matter who you order from, usually they will tell you how long before the seeds start sprouting. So about 7 to 10 days on these peppers is when I should start seeing little sprouts coming up out of the dirt. So so now that we have that, so you're going to put this in a warm spot, but not in direct sunlight. So you don't want to put this like in a window somewhere. Just make sure that it's a warm spot until they start sprouting. So once the seeds start sprouting, you're just going to prop the dome open, so you can really just kind of prop it. You just want to start getting some air circulating in there is what you want to do. So you can just kind of prop it like that. So when all the seeds have sprouted, remove the dome and place in a sunny location. So once all the seeds once all of your cells have a sprout coming out of them, Then you take the dome off completely, and that's when you want to move it to a sunny spot. Yeah. So watering. You don't want to water them until you take the dome off completely, and that's what this little tray underneath here is. You can, instead of watering from the top, because you're going to drown everything once they've sprouted, they're still very delicate. So what you want to do is just gently lift this up, and you can pour water. Let me show you from here. You can pour water into this tray, and that way the water will absorb from underneath, and it won't drown your sprouts or your seeds or anything. But don't water them until all of your sprouts have come up and you've removed the dome and it goes into a sunny spot. And watering, if the soil looks dark, then don't water it. But when your soil starts to look dry on top, when it starts to turn a lighter shade of brown, that's when you want to water. You don't want to water with any kind of fertilizers or add any kind of added nutrients to your soil, because they're still in this seed starting soil. So what you want to do is just lift it up, lift the cell tray up, and just put water in this tray here. And that's it. So I've got all the peppers done now. So I'm gonna get another tray of cells, and we'll do the tomatoes. So yeah, I'll be right back. So now we're gonna start our tomatoes. So I'm gonna try some of these. These are seed starting pea pellets. So basically it has the same seed starting mix as what's in the bag there, but these things are really cool. I hope y'all can see those. They are like self-contained little cells, and all you need is just a tray. And you don't have to have one of these trays. Like if you have like some kind of lid to like a plastic tub or something like that. The only thing is that to start these, they have to get wet. So what you're going to do is you'll line them up in your tray here, and you can see as it starts to absorb water, it expands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this tray up with water. It's going to take a few minutes for these cells to expand. I'm just going to drop them all in there. And so there is a top and a bottom. That is the top of the cell. That's the bottom. So when these things have expanded, and you'll see in just a minute, when these things have expanded, that is where you'll drop your seed in. And again, you will drop it in to the depth that is recommended on the package of your seed package. So, all right. Okay, so these are soaking in the water and they're starting to expand once they've expanded. Okay, so the pods have all been seeded. Now on the box, I will say this, on the box it says add 2 to 3 seeds per pellet. I did not do that. 1 seed per pellet, that's all I put in. And so again, what I'm gonna do, because I don't have one of those plastic domes like I did with the other cell thing, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cover it with some of this plastic wrap, and that will be my dome until the seeds have sprouted. Now, same thing with the other cells. Once you start seeing sprouts, you want to prop open your dome, and then once everything has sprouted, you can remove your dome completely and move it to direct sunlight. So I'll move these once all of the sprouts have come up. I'll move them to the greenhouse where they can get direct sunlight. But for now, I'm just going to cover them. This is going to be really fun in this wind. The wind has picked up a little bit. So for now, I'm going to cover them with the plastic wrap, if I can get it out, and keep them in a warm, indirect, sunny spot. So for now, these will probably just sit like on the kitchen table or something, and then in about 7 to 10 days, when things start sprouting, that is when I will prop open this dome, and then once everything has sprouted, yeah, this is going to be impossible in the wind. I know y'all are probably all laughing at me, and that's okay. I don't mind. Okay, I got one side down. So, once again, y'all, clearly, I'm not a professional. I am learning as I'm going. Oh my goodness. I am learning as I'm going. And yeah, this is going to be great. I hope that you all are learning from these little, as Bob Ross says, they're not mistakes, they're happy accidents. So yeah, we're gonna go with Bob Ross on that. And but yeah, you know, I'm not a professional. I don't know everything that I'm doing here, but you know, I want y'all to see that if I can do this, anybody can live this kind of lifestyle if that's what you choose to do. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait until I go inside to put this on, because it's not gonna work out here. It's been so pretty and sunny, and the wind has been calm all day, and as soon as I get ready to put this plastic wrap on is when the wind picks up. So yeah, and the same thing with my labels, because they're not gonna, the plastic wrap is not gonna fit. Once I get the plastic wrap on, I'm just gonna tape them to the row where each tomato is. So anyway, so I hope that y'all like this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up, please. I hope that you subscribe to our channel here. This is only our second video, but I hope that y'all will subscribe to our channel. Tell your friends and everybody about us. So I will come back in about 10 to 14 days or so, and we will check the progress on our seeds, and we will move on to the next steps. Thanks so much. Y'all have a good day.